Welcome back, CSC 102 class, to WD06. This is our research paper that I'm doing for Spring 2020, and I'm going to try and do a version in Google Docs using EasyBib. I've never done this before, so this will be a first for me, and we'll see how this goes, especially if you don't have Word or you don't want to use Word and you like working in Google Docs. Maybe you did this in high school, and this will be really easy to do, but I'll try to do it in Google Docs because this is new for me. So I'm going to go back to my handouts page in my Warren, and this is under Documents and Resources, just if you don't remember where we're at. Documents and Resources, and this is under Handouts. And this is Unit 6, WD06. This will be the last Word thing we'll be working on if you did the flyer. And I have my sample open, and I have my instructions open. And I'm going to go to this thing, and I'm just going to download this. I'll just click on it. I just want to download it. So I'll save link as, and I'll put it in my downloads where normally it would go. So I'll just put it there, and I'll even save it as Homa R. And you could change the name later, but I'll do that now. I'll put in my downloads. I do have one on my desktop that I don't want to overwrite right now. So I'll put that in there, and I don't want it open, but what I do want to do is open up my Google Docs. So I'm going to go to my drive, and I'm going to my drive first so I can put the file in there so I can work on it. And I do have a folder here for CSC 102, so I'm going to drag it in there. So I'll go over here. Now I'm on a Mac. You could do this with Windows too. And I'm just going to go to my downloads and see if I could find that thing. And there it is. That's the one. And I'm just going to drag it in here. And now it's uploaded. And I'll double click on it to open it in Google Docs. And I'm going to close my drive thing. I don't think I need that open. And here it is in Google Docs. Now, if you don't see the add-ons, it means it's not really open in Google Docs. So I'm going to make sure that I go here and I say Save as Google Docs. And it should keep the same name and all that. And I'll close the old one. And this is the new one because it has add-ons. Now, I'm not seeing the every time it goes away, even though I installed add-ons to show my invisibles right here, it doesn't see them. So let me see if I can get away without even doing that for right now. Now, again, a couple things we're going to do here to get started, just like we did on the last one that I did on the Mac side. We're going to highlight all of our text. But even before we do that, let's go to our margins, and we're going to go File and go to the bottom, Page Setup, and make sure all our margins are 1 around. Now, they're not right now, so I'm going to make sure they're 1 all around. Now, keep in mind that when you put a header on there, it is not an inch away. It's actually going to be a ½ inch away. So I'm going to do that, make everything 1 inch away, and then I'm going to click my cursor in here. And if you're on Windows, do Control A. If you're on a Mac, do Command A. And again, I'm on the web, so it doesn't matter, but just put your cursor in here, select everything, all the pages that are here. So that's what Control A or Command A does. And I'm going to go to my text, and I'll make sure that I'm using Times New Roman, and I'll make sure that everything is 12 point. And I'll make sure that everything's double spaced, which on Google Docs, you could go over here and just choose double, so everything's okay. I'm going to center my title. And actually, let me try this. I'm going to highlight everything again. I'll try something different than I did on the Mac side. I'm going to highlight everything. I'll do Command A because I'm on a Mac, or you could do Control A in Windows. And if you just go here and grab this little blue thing, that little top thing, and move it over, that puts every paragraph in your paper with a first line indent. And that's actually what you want, except then you could go back and take it off of here. So I could go back and remove it from here and just put this back at 0. And then highlight these things and put them back at 0. I don't want the first line indent on for these top things, but I do want this centered. So I could go here and center that. So that's the way I want it. And I'm not even sure if they have an insert date. I'll go here. Insert date. They probably don't have an insert date in here. So I'm just going to put March 19th, 2019 or 20. That's easy enough. So I don't have to do that. And my name here, I'm going to be Steve Smith, and everything the same there. So that looks fine. And then up here in my header, I'm going to double click up here, get into my header, and I'll see if I can insert a page number. Page number, here's one up here. I'll insert that. And then I'm just going to take my cursor, my arrow, and well, let me right justify it first. I'll go over here, make sure it's on the right. And then also make sure it's in Times New Roman. It's in Cambria right now, so I'm going to make sure it's in Times New Roman, 12 point. That's important. And then I'm just going to take my arrow key and just kind of jump over here. And I'm going to type my last name, Homa. Or actually, it's Smith. I did that on the last one. It's going to be Smith because that's my name. And space, and that's it. That's all you need. So we have our page number and we have our last name. That's the way it should be formatted for MLA. And that's all you need. So we have everything set up for our formatting. Everything is good. Now, one thing we're going to do now is we're going to put in our sources and we're going to do our bibliography. Now, without taking a break, I'm going to try to do this because I just did it on the Mac version. So I'm going to go to EasyBib, and I'll do this over again. And I'll go to my instructions, and I'm going to open this thing up. I think our first one is this one, so I'm going to open this up. Now, this is showing up as a link, so I'm going to right-click and make sure I open it in a new tab. And then I'll just copy the URL. That's all you have to do. You don't have to read the article or anything. Just go up here, copy this. And then go back to EasyBib and create a citation. Now, I already made an account. I mentioned on the other video, I already made an account for EasyBib. And BibMe works very similar to this. Now, we'll just see what happens here. So I'll go to Create Citations. Now, I might have to watch an ad or something like that. I'll create citations. It's a website, so that's what I'm using. So I'll click on a website, and then I'll paste in the URL that I just copied from up here, which I could even close that. And I'll hit search. And you'll get all kinds of things saying, are you sure? Do you want to cite this? Is it professional work and all that? Not worried about that right now. That's not my job. I just want to cite where I got my information. And then I'll hit continue. And here's my information. And it's just kind of verifying that. You can always go back and change something, but everything looks okay. And I'll complete citation. And there it is. Now, it's bringing up my old stuff, and it did this before. I tried to delete them, and it just won't delete them. So I'll delete these for now because these are old ones I did, and it just keeps bringing them up. Because it's easy to do them, but for some reason it just doesn't like to get rid of them after I hit delete, even when I wiped them out from like a whole section. So anyway, there's my first, and if you have an account, you could leave it here. Be careful with this stuff. If you go to copy this thing, it says like citation copied. How about this one? Yeah, if you try to copy that, it tries to take you to this 3-day trial. You know what I mean? It's really annoying. So just leave it in there for now, especially if you create an account. So my citations, look at them. They came back. That's why I hate this stuff. I really hate this stuff. But even the Word one has all its problems as well. So that's why this is actually faster. Even though it's annoying, it's incredibly annoying, it's actually faster. So there's one, and that wasn't that hard. So I'm just going to go back here. Look, there's some ad coming up already. Look at that. Already there's another ad. It's unbelievable. All right, so the next one here is Java Review. So I'm going to just right-click on that, open in a new tab, and I'll just highlight this URL at the top, and I'll just copy it, and I'll go back to EasyBib, and I'll create a new citation, and I'll use a website, and I'll paste it in, make sure it is the new one, Java Reviews, and I'll hit search, and I'll hit cite, and I'll hit continue. I'm not even looking at any of this stuff right now. And then I'll hit complete, and it's being created. So there's my new one. It didn't bring those other ones back, so there's my second one there. So that's fine. It's saying missing info. It's missing something on here, but that's okay. I checked it before. There's nothing really missing. There might be a publisher or something that's on here. So I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to go back here. I'll close that tab. I'll go back here, and then I'll open up this last one. I'll control-click. Because I'm on a laptop, or you could right-click. I'm not using a mouse. And I'll open that in a new tab. And I'll go to this last DIY video editor, and they don't show, even though it's going to come up with Lance Carr, they don't show an author on here, but for some reason it's going to pick it up somewhere, so might as well use it. So we're going to just use it. So I'll copy that again. I'll go back to EasyBib, and I'll make a new citation. And website, just keep going through this again. Paste it here. And hit cite, continue, complete citation. And now it's being generated. I don't know if I have to watch a video or something to actually see it, but here it is. So there's my stuff. Now, after all that, I mean, this is annoying with all these ads and things. It's horribly annoying. Let me just do this. Let me just copy all, see if that works. Don't want that. And I'll go back here, and I'm going to go at the end of my paper. So that export to Google Docs, wasn't too impressed with that. But I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to backspace. And then I'm going to insert a page break. And hopefully in Google Docs, you can insert a page break. There's insert break, page break. and I'm just going to paste, and that's actually looks okay, except it's in blue. So I'm just going to highlight this stuff. It's double spaced. I'm just going to make sure it's not blue anymore, and it might have been blue because that's what I had. So I'm going to just do that. Everything looks okay. I would check the spacing though. It could have extra spacing in there, in between here, because you don't need that. But one thing I am going to do is grab this little bottom arrow here, that bottom one, move that over a 1/2 inch, or actually this should be at a 1/2 inch, and this top thing should be at 0. That's where that should be. So it should look like that. Now, if you see this extra space in here, now I don't know if there's a return or not, because I can't see my formatting marks, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this thing, line spacing, and I'm going to go to custom spacing, and I'm going to put this back to 0, because for some reason put this 12 before and 12 after here, and I'm going to hit apply and take that out, because I don't want extra space. It should look like that. That's what it should look like. And then here I'm just going to put Works Cited. I'm just going to hit a return, and then I should center this, and that's my Works Cited. And that actually is fine. That's the way it should look. These are in italic. These are with quotes. Everything looks fine. The only thing I'd have to put here is just put accessed, and you want to put the date first, 19 March, MAR period, and then 2020, and then another period. And if you right click on here, hopefully they have a place to edit the link and turn it off. Let's see if I just wipe it out. Does that work? All right, I just looked it up and it said hit remove. Oh, remove link. If you just click on it, they have a remove link right here. So it's good I checked that out. So remove it, and that's all you have to do. You can just left click on it if you're using a mouse, but you don't want to right click on it and get those options. So that's good. Just learned how to do that. Now the last thing we're going to do here is we're just going to put in these things, and I'll do this real quick. We have bolt, we're using twice. We have car, and we have Java review, and they don't need dates. All they need to be is in parentheses. So just to finish this thing off, I'm just going to highlight this stuff here, and I'll just put parentheses, and I'll put bolt, and make sure you spell it right since you're typing it in and it's in parentheses, and then make sure you just turn off the blue here and just make it black, and make sure that the in-text citation is before the period. And I'm just going to copy this, and then I'll go find the next one. Here's one here. Put it right here. I'll paste it, and that's perfect. And then here's Java review. I'll go here and paste this. Now this one is going to say bold. This one will say Java review, and there's no space in there. It's exactly like it is here. It's going to look just like that. So that's Java review. And again, it should be before the period. And I think I just have a last one that's just going to be car. And remember, it's just using this name here, car. And it would have to use the title. If it did not have an author, it would use the title. And I'm just going to put car in here. I'll just highlight this whole thing and just paste and just change this to car. Now, there are tools in Word that do this, but this didn't take that long to do, depending on how many resources you have. You have to change a lot of stuff with Word. Word has a lot of things that are built in to update and stuff, but they can make it hard. So this actually was pretty quick. I did this in one video. So this is all done. I think it's okay. I guess I don't have to save it again. Everything's saved already. Now, if you want to share this, you don't have to upload it. You could try to download it and upload it, but I don't care if you just send it to me. I know in My Warren you have to upload a file, but if you just share this and put it in your comments, so if you just went in here, if you just shared this, you could do this if you're using Google Docs. Just got a shareable link, and you copied the link, and you went back here. Wherever you go, if you go to another one, here's color calendar. Can I do that? No, I probably have a Google one there. But if you add a comment, what you can do is you can just insert a link. You would do this for WD06, and then you just target new window. So just paste in your Google link. If you do this in Google Docs, paste it in there, target new window, hit OK. And as long as you have it in there, and even if it gives you an F right away, I'll take that away. I just need to see this link and look at your file. That way, if you do this in Google Docs, and that way, here's your file in Google Docs. This thing's done. And that's it. That's your research paper. So that's using EasyBib, which, again, it's a learning process to do this. And to make, again, this is for your Works Cited, and then we're using in-text citations. And I think we're actually doing these okay for MLA 8. Now, I didn't mention this, but I do have this set up for MLA 8. I didn't mention this earlier, but make sure that you choose MLA 8 when you do this. And I already set that up for that. So in case I forgot to mention that, make sure it's MLA 8. If I didn't mention that, you'd have to do it over, but make sure you use that particular style when you do this. And that's it for this version with Google Docs.